What is that music?
That's Lady Dana's music. Hey, Reverend Anthony.
Oh.
Hey, my
Hi,
brother. How
Reverend
you doing?
Anthony.
Hey, Reverend Anthony, how are you?
Hey, that's us.
Good to have you on.
Yeah, that's me. You can't see me with my hat on.
I see. Gorgeous.
I had to play the part.
All right, all right.
Yes.
That's all right.
Oh, let me get my cup of tea. I'm sorry.
Yeah, get your cup of tea.
Dana Austin.
Hey, Anthony, we be having global tea parties.
I see.
Yeah, this is new for me too.
Tea. They get
And
their tea, huh?
networking.
And networking, this is new for me too.
Yes. Awesome.
Taking me out my comfort zone. Let me stop.
It takes the Austin ladies to do that.
Lord Jesus. Great. All right. Have someone who's always in.
And where are you, Rev?
Oh, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Awesome. The Queen
Yes.
City.
Been here for a lot of years.
Okay. And I'm sister to Stephanie.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Michelle, look.
You hold on, take a snapshot of that one. Do it again.
Okay.
Can you take a picture, Christopher?
Yes. Yes, I will be able to. Yes, I will.
I'm gonna get one of you. Okay, do it again.
Hey,
Show
Rod.
Stephanie.
Hey, Chris.
Okay, Stephanie, say something.
Hi there. Hello,
Hey.
hello, hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
How are you doing?
Good.
That's
Your
good.
attire looks magnificent.
The what looks magnificent?
Your attire. Your
Oh,
ensemble.
thank you. I had to play the part, of course. Thank you. Oh, wow. How are you guys doing today?
Rod, you see this? You see this finger?
Yes.
This is my T finger, where I have the T finger out.
I love it.
Gotta
Yeah.
know.
There it is. She's got it. The technique is.
I heard that.
Yes.
All right, I see
And
people
who's
rolling
that
in.
lovely person sitting next to you, Rod?
Hey, Gloria.
This is my lady, my wife, my better half. This is Ruth Ann.
Hi, Ruth Ann. How are you
Hi.
today?
I'm very well, thanks. And yourself?
I'm doing well. A pleasure to meet you.
Same here, same here.
Nice to meet y'all.
Ruth Ann is a life consultant.
Oh, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
We need it.
Hi,
We need
Gloria.
more life consultants. Gloria's on mute. She has to unmute her phone.
You can't do
I
all the
said,
you
I have
can't do all
lots
the
of
introductions.
hats.
Then when we
I
break out, there won't be
think
anything
I'm
to
wearing
talk
one.
about. So, hey, Gloria,
Hi,
good to have you.
thank you.
Yeah, we'll save the intros for the networking.
Very good. Lady Dana, I need for you to change your handle on one of your accounts to Lady Dana Austin.
Okay, let's see. Let's see this one here.
There goes Doug. Hey, Doug. You have to unmute.
I think it's this one.
Hola, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Hey.
Christmas to
Hi,
you
Doug.
too.
And how are
Merry
you today,
Christmas.
Mr. Doug?
It's a beautiful day in paradise.
Oh,
Wow. You look like you're in paradise.
you must be in Atlanta then.
Actually in Menlo Park, California.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Looking forward to hearing more and catching up with some amazing people. Looking forward to learning more today.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
You're at the right place.
Thanks for the invitation. Appreciate it. Are you in Atlanta? Is that why you mentioned Atlanta?
No, that's her sister that's in Atlanta.
Oh, I see. My wife last night, she said, I always wanted to go to Savannah. And so I really want to go there. And my son-in-law said, well, I've been to only Atlanta and it was somewhat underwhelming. But I have been to some nice places in Atlanta, and I used to visit Savannah as a young boy. So I know there's some very amazing places in Georgia for sure.
Absolutely. Including Atlanta. So you have to get to the overwhelming part.
Yeah, no, I've spent some days walking through the city and Peachtree Center, I remember, and visited the CNN headquarters. I presume it's still there. Some really beautiful places, the ballpark, some really nice neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
All right, Lady Dana, I'm going to make you a co-host, and we're going to actually get started if you don't mind. And I'll start off the meeting. So I'm going to say yes. And let me just share the screen. All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to say I'm Christopher Herring. Welcome to the very first virtual global tea party, where a global tea party just don't stop. We're doing this to my request to have an event that will hopefully be very successful. I think that as I had the pleasure of reading Dana Austin's book, Tea with String Vignettes, and yes, Rod, I do read. Rod Dudley there is my college roommate from at Boston University from back in the day, so I have a lot of pressure here.
That's right.
But the virtual global tea party is something in which we thought about because we can actually use the various locations that were referenced in Dana Austin's book to have a cultural conversation. I've been, as the executive director of Global Chamber San Antonio, I've been able to meet with leaders from around the world. That's in fact an ambassador from the Czech Republic. And it's been great. And we also have in Global Chamber various events like the virtual global dining experience. And so I'm looking at the template of the virtual global dining experience and now incorporating this virtual global tea party, which again won't stop. I think it'll be very successful over next year. And I want to congratulate Dana Austin for achieving the top 50 status on Amazon's bestsellers list over this holiday. I know that as she writes more and as she publishes more books, that she's going to get the #1 status. So this is a blessing. And just a little trivia. So when you look at my background, you'll see a global map. And Dana said to me before when we were rehearsing, she was like, wow, she said, that global map, she said, I like how Africa is displayed, but it's so small. And what I found out in one of our globinars, when we were talking about various places of Africa, and you may not have known that the continent is actually undersized on maps. And if you put China, United States, India, Eastern Europe, Italy, Germany, France, Spain, all into the continent of Africa, it fits, and the UK.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's just a little trivia. Now, our chamber also participates in Dream Week 2021. In San Antonio, we have speakers like Stephanie Austin, who will be speaking about her book, My Will or His Will. And we have a panel of entrepreneurs from around the world that will be talking during Dr. King's holiday about their experience with life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So again, I'm Christopher Herring, I'm the executive director. I've had a number of people who supported me in this engagement. I love the beautiful hats that I'm seeing. I see you, Carolyn. And we've had great sponsors for our chamber, and we continue to ask for sponsorship. We've been doing global virtual events and meetings, and it's really had to replace some of the in-person meetings that we were having. But again, this is where we are. This is the future. The future is now. Global Chamber, 525 metros around the world. We provide as one chamber reach, contacts, access, exposure, information, visibility, and you are part of a global tribe.
Yes.
And it only takes one membership for you to be a part of that global tribe. We're bad. Like Michael Jackson said, we bad. And again, I love meeting people from around the world. These are this is the Saudis that came to San Antonio. I look all formal and everything. And look, the vision that Global Chamber had was to, by 2025, be in these 525 metropolitan markets and reach 40 million people. And in business, you want to be able to meet what? People. So this is why the Global Tea Party is so important. And our founder, who is also here today, thank you, Doug, for coming out. He's a tall guy in the picture, and you can see him in the video later. The member benefits. So everyone says, well, what do I get for my membership? Look at all that stuff that you get. Now, I'm going to say this. You also get the support of leaders, compassionate, loving leaders who really want to do their very best to serve you. And I think that's what you invest in. You get the contacts, you get the experiences, you get the globinars. We call our events globinars as opposed to webinars. And you get the chance to have your brand lifted because we try to make sure that we connect you to people from all around the world. This was my meeting that I had with the Russians, and never did I ever think that I would have a platform to reach people from around the world, to include Russia. And we had a hosted luncheon, and we got to connect and actually from a spiritual perspective, I was able to connect with some of them just in terms of my faith. So praise God. This is what Global Chamber has given me as a platform.
Yes.
Our calendar is the calendar for Global Chamber is the busiest calendar by far any organization across the world. Gloria, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
The Global Chamber has the most events, and just by a simple membership, you can go to the calendar, click in whether you're a member or you're not a member, and you can participate. Now, after this event today, my next event, I'm really happy about it. Free Trade Matters. And Free Trade Matters is going to be our ability to be able to explore about what's going on under the Biden administration, leaving the Trump administration. We have Farmers for Free Trade, and being a country boy from North Carolina, like my brother Anthony, we are farmers, and so I'm really interested in hearing this discussion. We also have Mr. Gold from the National Retailers Association, and he's going to talk about the future of buying the goods and services that we have in our marketplace. I mean, the marketplace is changed. And so we need to know what's the future. So if you have a commodity, if you have a product service, please make sure that you're registered for that Globinar. That Globinar is going to work. And then Robert Barnett and Miriam Name are two attorneys who are going to legally show us what we need to know about free trade and what does that really mean to your business. We've had previous Globinars that have dealt with safe air travel since the COVID to make sure that people are safe. We've talked about the surprising resilience of trade during the COVID-19, where we just try to give an overview for people to know exactly where the US economy stands. We've even gone into Europe. Monica is one of our global advisors, and I'm so happy that we were able to bring her message in the history of Czech Republic. We've had our mayor. Our mayor gave a great keynote to talk about the international state of the metro, as we call it. This is one of our signature events. And then we also had a global book discussion with the author, Stephanie Austin, who is present, who you'll get to meet when we go into breakouts. And she has that snazzy hat that I'm actually matching, which is cool. That's a cool hat. And let's see, we've also talked about Africa. Joel Ingaloo is also on. He's from Congo. He lives in San Antonio. He's my deputy, and he's a great man. But we've talked about how do we connect our members to Africa. Recently, we talked about what's south of us in Laredo, Texas, the future of the industrial development trade discussion, and then how do we support our local economy with the San Antonio Economic Development Foundation. So I'm going to stop sharing there. I just wanted to show you how much we are involved, how much we're really doing to make a difference. And I'm so proud that you were able to join today. So with that being said, I want to introduce Lady Dana Austin. Now, in this forum, since this is a global tea party, she is to be respected with her nobility. So Lady Dana Austin is a member, she's an author. She has her own, she's going to introduce herself, but I'm just gonna say this: she juggles many titles. We were on last night practicing, rehearsing for this, and I never had so much pressure put on me. Todd and Russ, y'all were here. You saw the pressure she was putting on me. So this has to be right. And
Where's your hat? That's what I want to know. He had a hat on last night.
who, me?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Look, I'm not going to disappoint. You know,
Whoa!
this is Texas,
There
and
we
everything
go.
here in Texas is big. So this is my hat,
That's right.
and
That's
some
smooth.
of you
That's
thought
smooth.
this was a Mad Hatter's party, Mad Hatter's tea party from Alice in Wonderland. But no, this is just a global tea party. I'm gonna take it off right now. But I do want to turn it over to the author of the book, Tea with Strings Vignette, Culture, Customs, and Recipes. And I'm gonna make you a host right now, Dana Austin, Lady Dana Austin.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. We are delighted that you guys are with us here this Sunday afternoon or part of the morning, depending on where you're chiming in from. I'm hailing from Atlanta. I'm excited to be a part of the Global Chamber out of San Antonio. And I've connected with people, continue to learn a lot and support. But most importantly, I love getting together with people and having parties, especially in this season when we're kind of limited with the get together. So we get to do it virtually. As far as my background, I'm a certified tea consultant. And if you've never heard of such a thing, there are schools and universities for this. And I've owned a tea house, the tiniest tea house up in North Georgia. I am a nurse by profession, and I'm also a public speaker and an author. I love connecting with people from around the world. And so last night we did have fun, didn't we, guys? Yes, I put a little pressure on, but we wanted to make sure that today went smooth. So I see all your beautiful faces. You know what? I love that we have, I'm just going to call names: Bride, Gloria, Doug, Rev. We have Rev Anthony Herring on, Todd Bliss. He's going to tell us about the hat. We have Russell, Cindy. If I'm skipping you, I can't read it. That's the only reason. Cheryl, Lady Carolyn, the Duchess Stephanie, who happens to be my blood sister, and Compassionate Paula, and Denise, and I think a few others. But welcome everybody. So with that virtual tea party, what do you think is the central theme of a tea party?
Tea.
Please tell. Tea. Absolutely. And the reason why it's a central theme, because it allows us to gather. It allows us to take time out, have conversation, enjoy wonderful treats. If you didn't have your treats, get somebody to make them while we're on the screen. You got to have your treats. And so we have set behind you here a lovely holiday table. And as Christopher Herring mentioned to you earlier, with the Global Chamber and the dinners and other meetings, and I'll give out a prize if you remember some of the things that he said. So I hope you were paying attention. It'll be tea prizes. Something coming up, 2 things coming up in January he mentioned. So if you don't remember and you want to win a prize, you can use the chat. You can text him. I don't think he'll mind answering. But we do want you to stay connected. And what some of our tea parties, we're going to be featuring different regions of the world. So we will feature Asia and Africa and Morocco and different parts of the South. And I heard him mention earlier that he comes from a family of farmers. And he also mentioned that there's an event coming up in January. Does anybody remember that date?
Yes, I
What
do.
is- Of course
There was
you will.
something. Well, he said something about January 7th, which I don't remember that, and then also something Dream Week, which is the week of January.
Okay, you can only do one. You can only win one prize. And plus you're
Okay.
part of the Dream Week. You can't mention it. So
Okay, well,
Stephanie-
January 7th. I don't know what that event was.
Stephanie's won a prize. We haven't decided what it is, but keep a mark on that. All right. So when I thought about the farming part and fair trade, I thought if I can connect with someone who farms in the Carolinas, the tea, then that will be a source where I can get some of my teas to process. Just a little thing to think about. You never know how you're going to connect to what you can find in this group. Now, I usually start off with our virtual tea parties. This is like my 16th one of the year, but the first global one and the first one with the Global Chamber. I usually like to know what kind of tea you like. And I'll tell you some of the ones I like and then what I'm drinking. So Who wants to go first? I don't want to call on anybody. This is just comfortable conversation.
I like ginger tea.
Okay, introduce yourself and then tell us what you like.
My name's Rod Dudley. I'm here with Ruth Ann Brown, my partner. And I'm a big fan of ginger tea.
Yes. Oh, what does ginger tea do for you, Rod? I had some yesterday morning.
Ginger tea wakes me up. It makes my senses, gets my senses more alert. It
Yes.
invigorates me, makes me feel alive, and it's got a lot of health benefits as well.
Did you all hear all that the ginger tea does for him? Makes you want to sign up for it. Invigorate, wakes me up, energize, stimulates. And it does all of that and has a lot of medicinal properties too. Okay, who's next? Gloria, I see you. What kind of tea do you like? Oh, you may have to unmute yourself, guys. So just remember to hit unmute and so we can hear you.
I have what is called Oolong Tea.
Oh,
It's a cousin to green tea, just a little bit different and has the same properties that green tea has.
yes.
Just a little bit more unknown, but it comes
Yes.
from a specialty tea shop. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah. Oolong, Oolong.
Correct.
You're learning a lot about tea today, and the tea book has a whole bunch more information too. And matter of fact, my tea is going to be what she's drinking today, and I'll expound on it a little bit more. Okay, who's next? Reb, are you having tea? And if so, unmute yourself or anybody else. Todd, I see you.
I'm not a big tea drinker, Lipton iced tea, but I do drink some green tea.
Okay,
It's good for cleansing your body.
awesome. We're going to take you up to a whole nother level.
Yes.
We're going to elevate. So he likes Lipton iced tea, and then he likes the Lipton green tea. Todd, I see you next. I don't, if you don't mind.
I like to keep mine simple, so I like mint tea.
Okay, mint tea.
Too.
I like to share information whenever you guys say what you like, and we'll talk about what is actually tea and what is tisanes and infusions and stuff. So what do you like about the mint tea, Todd?
Well, the mint tea, I like the mintiness. It also it has a good aroma and an aphrodisiac, so it's really good.
Whoa. See, you never know what you get when you come together for a party.
Hey, Lady Dana, on page 51 of your book, you have a tea recipe for mint tisane. Is that how you pronounce it?
Tisanes. Thank you, Christopher. You know, sometimes it takes a village, guys, doesn't it? We cannot do anything all alone. We need one another. We need to support one another and encourage one another. He's turned into the page, and it is on that page. We'll talk about tisanes. Okay, Miss Janice.
Oh, hi, my name is Janice. How are you guys doing?
Awesome, Janice. Where are you chiming in from?
I am chiming in from Menifee, California.
Wonderful. We got 2 Californians on today.
Yes, yes. And my favorite tea is lemongrass tea.
Stephanie.
Yes, that's mine too.
Lemongrass tea, because it fills my nostrils with goodness.
Oh,
Yes.
That's what it does. And it makes the whole place smell really earthy, herbal, and just plain good.
Do you make the lemongrass tea from the actual lemongrass itself, or do you buy it already packaged?
Well, both. When I was growing up in the islands, my parents had this big container of the grass itself, and so my mother would say, Janice, go in the backyard and get some bush tea, because that's what we call it in the islands, bush tea.
I'm gonna grab some so folks can see it. Give me a second.
Okay.
Keep telling us more about your story.
Oh, okay. And so I would go and grab, of course, my favorite tea, the favorite grass. And so I would clip it and tie it up in some small knots, because it's a long grass and it's kind of sharp, so that you can cut yourself if you are not careful. And you put it in a pot and you just boil it and it just makes the place smell like you're cooking something exotic.
Yes.
Right, Stephanie?
Yes, absolutely. And it also lowers cholesterol. I found that it lowers cholesterol and also helps with infection, which I didn't know, but I love lemongrass tea.
And it's also called fever grass. It lowers your
Fever grass.
fever.
Yes,
and it's good for anxiety. Yeah, it's good for anxiety as well.
And if
Hey,
you guys
Dana.
are learning something new today, there's a section at the bottom that says reaction, where you can do like a what, or a high five, or a thumbs up, or a heart. Go ahead and do that so we know that you guys are picking up what we're putting down and learning something new as we connect with others. Stephanie,
Hey,
she
Dana.
already used hers.
Dana.
Yes.
Hey, Dana, that's my cousin. Janice is my cousin.
Oh, Janice is your cousin.
Yes, I am
Awesome.
related to Todd.
Well, we go back, way back, and Stephanie will talk about that, I'm sure, and some lemongrass, because you're up next.
Oh, I'm up next. Okay. So yes, lemongrass is one of my favorite teas. My great our ancestor that lives, or one of our relatives that lives in Bermuda, she grows it in the backyard as well. And I've heard people say bush tea before, bush tea, and I'm like,
bush tea,
they went out to the bushes to get tea, you know. But when our relative went to her garden and she snipped it, and as you mentioned, it's very sharp.
Yes.
Lemongrass tree is very sharp. So it's delicious, it's relaxing. And I started doing some research to see what were the medicinal benefits, and it reduces anxiety, cholesterol, infection, but it's so yummy. It just makes my body melt.
Oh, wow. We got all kinds of stuff happening to the body from tea. Hey, Cheryl, you're up next. Introduce yourself as you do under your mute first, and tell us where you're chiming in from, please.
There we go. I think I got on now.
You're next, and Cindy's after you.
Okay. Well, my favorite is a chai, but unfortunately, if you get it at any place, it's usually got so much sugar in it.
Yeah.
So I tend to make it at home. But I've discovered dessert teas. And my new favorite one is called Banana Nut.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, use the reaction, guys. Ooh.
Wow.
No, it's kind of, I went to I'm in Massachusetts, and we have a candle factory out here called Kindles.
Yes.
Kindles, that's it. And they had this particular tea, and you just use a little bit, and you don't want to overbrew it because then it will get bitter.
Yes.
But it's so much, you can actually taste banana nut.
You guys are speaking my language. You know, this is a happy place. Thank you for sharing that, Cheryl. Cindy Allen, you're up next, and you should be unmuted so you could speak. And then we have Russell. So just go ahead and unmute yourselves. What's your favorite tea, Cindy, or what you're drinking and where you're from?
Hello, everyone. My name is Cindy Allen. I am chiming in from San Antonio, Texas.
Woo!
And my favorite tea is matcha green tea.
Ah.
And I think that it helps. I drink it every morning before work. So it helps me to stay focused and keeps me alert throughout the day.
Awesome. We discovered last night, Cindy, that matcha was one of Christopher's favorite after the chai. And I think he likes it because it sounds like Macho Man.
And I like a macho man. Macho. Now, Cindy is my cousin.
Oh,
So
welcome,
just to let you
Cindy.
know. Yep.
This is a book on matcha tea. Matcha tea is from, it's a Japanese tea, and it's in a green powder form. And it's used in a Japanese ceremony. And there's just so much about tea that brings us together across cultures. Like what you do in your region might be different in someone, so we get to learn. And we won't try to incorporate it all in today because I get excited and want to do that. But this means you'll be back for some of the future Global Chamber virtual tea parties learning about tea around the world. All right, Russell, you're next.
Okay, I'm Russell Lake. I'm also Todd's cousin.
Awesome.
I knew him before he was cool. My favorite tea is actually a combination of mint, raspberry, and hibiscus.
Oh.
I go to a very exotic store called Winco. Okay.
Winco?
Winco. And it's a brand. It's called Stash, and it's very good.
Yes.
I like the mint. Gives the smell. The raspberry and the hibiscus gives the color. It's a really delicious tea that I like.
Did you know, Russell, you can also cook with tea?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there's some things in the book that talks about that, but you can cook with tea, especially when you're looking for color and certain fruity flavors. Isn't that right, Paula? You go ahead and unmute yourself, and then Doug's after Paula, and then Lady Carolyn.
Yes, that's true. I've heard lots of good teas here today, and they sound like all of my favorites. But today I'm enjoying a cup of tea with CBD in it.
CBD.
Yes.
Talk about feel good.
Yeah, talk about feel good. Nice and relaxing. It's really smooth. It's my first experience with it. I just ordered it, and because I wanted to see how it tastes, and it tastes really smooth. I like it, and it's just another way for me to get CBD into my system to help protect my immune system. So, but I've been a tea drinker for a very long time because that's all my mom ever drank was tea. She drank every kind of tea there was, and if you were sick, you got tea. Sometimes you got tea with a little nip in it. So,
well, we know you are feeling extra good today, and you're not having no pain, as they say.
None at all.
And that's my cousin.
Yeah, and I'm calling in from California. I'm Todd's cousin.
Thank you, guys.
So
thank you for joining. We've been friends with Todd for years.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we grew up.
Yes, we've known him a long time.
I get it.
We were in nursing program together.
Wonderful.
So, Doug, you are up next. What's your tea of choice today?
Awesome. Thank you very much. From Menlo Park, California, and Scottsdale most of the time. I was very fortunate to have lived in Asia a couple times, and so I am a very avid tea drinker. My tea of choice, honestly, is when I would come into work in Japan, I would have my secretary make every morning green tea, just kind of straight industrial, spectacular to me green tea. And I've just grown accustomed to that over many years. However, just kind of funny and coincidence, I've been bringing on a new member in Hong Kong, and she owns a tea company that does e-commerce, and she's been educating me over the last couple of weeks about several teas, and one of them she's actually sending to me, I think maybe the most expensive green tea. It's Westlake Longjing. Tea.
Longjing, yes.
Which I think, if I understand the exchange rates and things like that, is about $1,000 worth of tea that she's sending me, and I'm looking forward to tasting that very, very slowly in the new year.
You're going to drink it slowly. You're going to spread it out over months, and she's a dear friend to send you that because it's a high value tea, very much like some of the pu'er teas, which is a tea that's made into a cake, and you can buy a pu'er based on the year. You can say, I would want a 2000 pu'er or 1980 something pu'er, and they very much charge like they do wine. For the older the tea, the better you're going to pay for it. And here's a Japanese. I saw it. Christopher was holding up his green tea, and this is a matcha toasted green tea with rice. So some teas have a roasted rice in it. As I told you, Rev, we're going to take you up to the next level. Matter of fact, we're gonna make you one of the winners today, Rev, because I want to get some tea for you. You won. And we have Lady Carolyn. I'm gonna call it Caroline to make it Southern. Lady Carolyn, where are you from and what are you drinking?
I am Carolyn Webster from Dallas, Texas. Well, actually Princeton, Texas, and I am drinking lemongrass. Love that as well. I also love a ginger tea.
Yes.
I love raspberry. And sometimes when I feel like I'm coming down with something, I'll put a little Jack Daniels in my tea and make a hot toddy with some lemon and honey. It works.
I just love it. I love that you guys have learned how to blend. You are mixologists. So I see, Stephanie must have turned you on to the lemongrass, huh?
Uh-huh.
Now, if you take that lemongrass and mix it with your ginger, that would be a nice combination too. And maybe your Jack could accompany and bring up the notes. Elevate the notes. And then we have Miss Paula. If you would unmute and tell us where you're from and what you're drinking.
Oh, I'm here in Southern California, near Los Angeles, right
Yes.
outside of LA. And I was drinking the CBD tea.
Oh, you told me already.
Yes, I did.
You moved on the screen.
Lady.
Oh,
And you're still drinking the CBD tea.
I'm still drinking,
That was a smooth move.
right?
Ruth,
But I'll tell you again, how many advertisers you need to know?
Yes, Christopher.
Yeah, Ruth Ann needs to provide her favorite tea, sitting with Rod.
Ruth Ann, yeah, how are you going to be quiet up there, Ruth Ann?
Well, I've been thinking about my different favorites while all of you spoke. I do enjoy lemongrass too, but it's not my favorite. I love chai tea and I love Earl Grey. I just really like Earl Grey tea, especially in the morning. It kind of just picks me up and I love the flavor. I think there's some citrus in there and I love that blend of black tea,
Wonderful.
I think it is, with the citrus. I like that.
You love some of my favorites, the Earl Grey and the chai as well. You know, when you find out some of the key teas that you share in common, you'll find that your taste palette is similar in other areas. So that's one interesting thing about tea. Now, Denise and then Toyette. So Denise, you're up next. You can unmute yourself and tell us what you're drinking, where you're hailing from, and then Toyette will be right directly after you. Now we can't hear you yet, so we're going to let Toyette go next until you get your volume working for us. Toyette? And Doug, thank you for sharing the link for the Longjing tea. And maybe you can give me a connection over in Asia so that I can start importing tea over there from my Tea with Strings, which I'm going to launch again next year.
Happy to do that. She's actually sending me 3 teas, that one being the most expensive. So happy to make the connection.
Thank you so much. See, that's Global Chamber, guys, right here.
So I'm curious before Denise even talks. So is the only way to consume tea drinking it?
No, but I'm going to let these ladies go first, and then we'll talk about that. Toyette, you're up next.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, this is our cousin, Toyette.
Yes.
And she's smiling. You can't see her smiling, but she's always smiling.
Thank you for having me. I am drinking, what is it called? I just had the box. It's here it is, the hibiscus tea sorrel.
Oh, she loves sorrel. She's going to find that sorrel.
So I am not a tea connoisseur. I did not grow up drinking tea. I remember I used to work with a Jamaican lady, and she would always drink tea. And one day I was having really, really bad menstrual cycles, and she told me to drink tea, hot tea. And after that, I began drinking it more. But I did not grow up drinking tea. So I like tea. It's just that it's just not something that I drink on a daily basis. So I found this in the store the other day, and I was like, oh yes, I know. Dana has made me some, what do you call it again?
Sorrel.
Sorrel. And it was amazing. It's the juice that Jesus turned into, it's the water that turned into wine.
My sorrel tastes like a wine. Yes, and that's gonna be bottled. But you know, I need some connections on how to do that. But if you're in Atlanta, you're always invited over for tea and some accoutrements too. So just if you're in the city, let me know. You got to be COVID free, fever free, cough free, all of that.
Right.
And then you can come over. All right, guys. Now, Christopher asked a question. He was like, is there any other way to consume tea other than drinking it? Absolutely. You can, like I mentioned, you can cook with it. You can make meals and roast and rubs and so forth with the different teas. And 3 things I want to share with you about what actually tea is. Camellia sinensis is the plant that you actually, I'm going to type it in here. Got to take my gloves off. The Camellia sinensis plant is the only plant that actually produces tea. Okay. Some of you online have the book, so you know this and you have it. That's the only plant that produces tea. So if you have white tea, green tea, black tea, those all come from the same plant. The only thing is the way that they process it. Okay, that's my little tidbit. The other thing is, whenever you drink something, as Stephanie, I think it was Cheryl, where did she go? Mentioned that they like the lemongrass. And I think, and so did Carolyn. Those are from like herbs and bushes. So that's called a tisane, and that's Tisane. Those are tisanes. So anything you get that's not from the Camellia sinensis plant is a tisane or an infusion. But we have grown accustomed to, if you infuse it in water, it's a tea. Now, so go ahead and enjoy your tea. While you're doing that, I'm going to show you some of the settings for my table. And if you have your table set and you want to share, just go ahead and raise your hand. And down at the bottom of your screen where it says reaction, actually has a thumb and a clap. So if you want to share your table, just clap like that, like I just did. Okay, and we'll go ahead and feature you. Okay, I don't want to miss anyone. So if any hands go up, Christopher, let me know. So you may be able to see from the other screen I have my table. I'm going to share a few things with you today. One is the table setting. So this is done, I have a really nice, elegant table setting. You can have a casual tea, a formal tea, or something for that spring or whatever your theme is. But this one I wanted to do really nice for today because it's a holiday networking tea. And then you can just see I have my napkin and napkin rings. Okay, and my big thing is use what you have, because most of us have things that we're not using. And this set was given to me by a friend last month, and it's over 60 years old. She bought it for her mom, and it has a gold leaf in it. And so I thought I'd use it today. And I put on here a little sweet blue sugar, rock sugar, for my sweetener, and it just makes it look cute. Isn't that cute? Yeah. So that's one of my table settings for today. Also, I put things on there. My color is blue, green, and gold. So my book on matcha tea, I made that a part of my centerpiece. Okay. I'm showing you here because it's easier so I don't have to drop anything. And then you could see I have a candle and this candelabra. You don't have to light them. You can get the digital ones. I have those too. But I thought, heck, it has a tree on it. Let's go ahead and light it. All right. And then most of the time, you'll have a tier. And a tier is what you actually put your things that you're serving at your tea. Now, if anybody has the tea book, there's a section in the book that talks about what you put on the first tier, which is the bottom, what you put on the second, and what you put on the third. So if anybody wants to look it up, or if you think you know that and you want to answer it, that's fine. Also, I have a tray of hot towels steamed with, you can put peppermint, somebody likes peppermint oil on it, or lemon, or fresh lemon, and you give your towel to your guests like you do when you're on the plane in first class. So you have a first class experience right at home. You see, all those little things really go a long way. And so I'm going to start with myself. Smells good. It was warm. Okay. And that means I'm ready. All right. So who wants to share their, I'll show you what I have on my tier. I have on the bottom layer. Oh, that was a question. What goes on the bottom layer of your tier? Crystal Hines is on. Good to have you, Crystal. You'll have to tell us what tea you're drinking once you unmute yourself. Or what's one of your favorite teas?
One of my favorite teas is peppermint, and at this time, I'm drinking a coconut tea.
Coconut tea?
Yes, a coconut water tea.
Oh, coconut water. Try mixing that with one of your teas, like with a hibiscus.
Oh, that sounds really good.
I know. Our cousin Toyette is having hibiscus sorrel, and you get your coconut with her and make it happen.
Oh, that sounds so good.
I got some coconut water too.
Awesome. We're going to break out in a networking session in about 2 minutes. I just want to talk about our table. So while we're networking, you can go ahead and eat as well. So on the bottom tier, anybody knows what you might put on your bottom tier? I'm happy to tell you. On the bottom tier, you generally put your sandwiches, cucumber sandwiches, if you have anything, vegetarian type sandwiches, or your savories is what we call. Now, something that I discovered again about 2 months ago, sometimes I do things and it's always like over the top, but not like I want it to be over the top. That's just who I am. And so when I made like a simple egg, boiled the egg, took the center out and seasoned up the center and put it back, they call it devil eggs. That was like the best thing. Oh my gosh. So I've got devil eggs at the bottom. I also have turkey wraps and I have sandwiches, finger sandwiches. You're supposed to cut the edges off the bread when you do tea sandwiches. And there's rules of thumbs about the measurement. And then on the second tier, you have your scones and your jams and jellies. And then the third, you have your sweets. So we'll talk about, when we break out in the rooms, about 3 things. One, you're gonna say who you are, okay? Share your name and then what your business is or what you want your business to be. So your name, number 2, your business, and about something you put on special today for the tea. Special item for the tea. It may be on your table or on yourself, okay? And I will be popping in the rooms. I think Christopher will make me the host of this one. So yep, you already, look at you, you're already on it. Okay, you guys ready? You're gonna meet some new people and network. I don't want you sitting there like a lump. This is a party, okay? Here we go. Okay.
Hey, Lady Dana, try to find me once we go into the breakouts.
I will. It looks like we had 1 room. Let me add a few more rooms. Because we have what, 20 something?
And maybe three rooms.
Okay, we've got 5 now. Open all rooms, here we go. You got to accept it. When it comes up on your screen, hit accept.
I think we all did.
All go the same. How many? Yeah, that's 15 of us in the same room.
No, can't have that.
Hey.
Oh wow, Chris, there's a lot of us in this room.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, 15.
So
Wow.
the only person we lost was our host.
Oh dear.
Everybody's in
Oh,
here?
there she
I
is.
put everybody in the same room.
Yes, you did.
I wanted to be sure you guys were watching. Okay.
I think we lost Doug.
Well, it worked.
No, we
It
lost
worked.
Doug.
Now I'm gonna fix it.
We lost Doug. Maybe in a room by himself somewhere.
Oh, that's not good. That's my job.
You need to find him.
Lady Dan. Okay, here we go.
We gotta leave the breakout room.
Leave it,
Leave it.
I guess. Okay, unmute Lady Dana, or let me see.
Thank you, guys. I'm gonna try that one more time. And Denise, what tea were you drinking? We didn't forget you. You gotta unmute yourself, my dear.
I got you. I'm unmuting her. Go ahead, Denise.
Say that again.
Mhm.
We're not hearing her. Just type it in the chat room if you would.
Mint medley.
Okay, there we go.
Where are you from, Denise?
I'm actually from New York. I'm Chris's cousin.
Thank you for joining us. And mint medley, as we already learned from Rod, is stimulating, invigorating, exciting, and all the 8ings.
Yes.
Here we go. You go into your room now. Thank you for your patience.
Room 1.
You a question. I'm not part of a business. I just heard Zoom tea party and I joined.
That's
So
good.
am I in the wrong place?
Nope, you're in the right place.
You're in the right place.
Okay, because she said talk about your business and I went, don't have one.
Well, she meant your personal business, Cheryl.
Oh. Okay.
Tell us all about your personal business. That's what you meant. We know you don't have a business, but tell about your personal business.
I don't think I'm in the right place.
She's sharing her personal business. I forgot to clarify. We're not talking about your business, but your business.
All right, because I was thinking I don't have a tea business.
Okay.
No, you don't have to have a tea business. Like if you have a business of any sort or something you're venturing into, this is a place you want to share it. I'm going to step on out. You're in good company with Christopher.
Lady Dana,
Yes.
can you please contact Wes? Wes
Oh.
tried to get in, and so you just may need to send him the link.
I sure will.
I
Thank
sent
you
him
so
the
much.
link. You just need to call him.
Okay.
All right.
I'll have to
Thank
stop the other. Oh, there he is.
you. All right. All right, Todd, you want to go first?
Okay. Well, I'll let my cousin go first because hers is more interesting than mine, and I'll do mine.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah,
Paula.
throw me under the bus.
No, I love you. I love you forever and ever.
Well, my name is Paula, and I do have a business. I've been in business for a while now. It's called Compassionate Hands, and it stemmed from my work as a massage therapist. And in massage therapy, I generally work with, I tell people if you're not old, sick, or dying, I really don't want to be bothered because I don't want to work on professional athletes. I want to work on people that really need me. Sometimes can't afford to get massage. So that's the crust of it. But recently I joined a company as a distributor of CBD products, and one of them happens to be tea, and there's coffee, and there's pain reliever rubs, and all kinds of things that I'm excited about, because in the practice of massage therapy, I have used CBD on my clients and they responded tremendously. And they're like, where did you get that? I need some. So that's where my focus is because of the pandemic, and I'm really not allowed to touch people right now unless it's a doctor's excuse, but I don't even want to do it now with the doctor's note because it's just not safe, especially here in California. You guys have seen the numbers here. We're like crazy. So I think she said to tell you about that, and a special item I put on for tea. Well, I wasn't quite sure what to put on, but I did put clothes on, as you can see. So that was a big one because Todd had just called me to remind me about the Zoom. I had just jumped out of the shower. So therefore I had to cover my head. That's a mess. So, but I decided red would be a good color because it's sort of festive.
It's festive, yes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
look very festive.
Thank you. So that's it.
Okay. My name is Todd Bliss. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm cousin Paula's my cousin. And my business is, I'm a photographer. Name of my business, remember my name is Todd Bliss. The name of my business is called Moments with Bliss, Inc., where memories last a lifetime. Now, I've been into photography since I was 14. Paula knew me as a kid taking pictures. And I do pictures of weddings, I do graduations, I do parties. But my favorite of all time that I like to do is nature. Nature doesn't argue with you. It doesn't tussle with you. It doesn't complain. It's just there, you know. And people in this highly busy, structured life that we have really miss what they have even in their own backyard. Mm-hmm. And that's pitiful, you know. And I take the picture and they always say, well, where did you get that picture from? I said, in your own backyard. So they missed the whole point. So to photography, it's in a sense is what I want, what I see in through my eyes, other people to see and say, wow, where did that come from? You know, or how is it possible that you're able to do this? And so that's what I like to do, you know, and things like that. And what was the other question, Paula? What do I put in my tea?
Well, how did you prepare for today, I guess?
With my hat. You remember yesterday, last night?
Yes,
Now, what color hat did I have on last night? What color did I have on last night, Christopher?
This one here.
No, me. What color hat did I have on last night?
Oh, I think it was, wasn't that a blue?
It was a blue hat, that's right.
Yeah.
And today I got the red, the purple one.
I like the purple one. That's actually symbolic of my fraternity. I'm gonna let Cheryl go next, and then I'll close it. How about that?
Okay, there you go.
Well, first off, are you three related? Is that what you said earlier in the introduction?
No.
Over here, Todd and Paula were. There were a lot of cousins.
Todd and Paula.
Okay, I heard there was a lot of cousins going on. I was trying to
Yes,
figure out.
I got 3 cousins on here.
You
I
can be a
invited 3
cousin
cousins
too,
too.
Cheryl.
I can be a cousin. Let me tell
Yeah.
you, around here, everybody's cousins. I live in Massachusetts, but I'm in a very small town, and everybody's related to everybody. It seems, there's like 5 major names, kind of.
What's the name of the town?
It's called Clinton, Mass.
You know where Hingham is?
Huh?
You know where Hingham is?
Yes.
Okay, my mother's from there.
Okay, that's over an hour away from me,
Okay,
and that's down on the shore.
right.
On the I think it's South Shore. I am, if you look at the Massachusetts map, or you'll see Worcester's about in the middle, southwest. I'm about a half an hour east of Worcester.
Okay.
So I'm kind of and when I look out, all I see are woods. So it's not what people think of as Massachusetts at all. So it's I don't have a business, so that's basically I'm giving you where I live kind of thing. It's all little towns. And if you weren't born in the town you live in, which I was not, I was born close to, but not in, that means you are never going to be that town person.
Wow.
Yeah, because you have to be born here to be that person. Oh, I keep getting these notes. So again, if I disappear, I'm sorry, folks.
No, so I'm going to close real fast. I have 52 seconds before we leave this room.
Okay, I'll give off to the next person then.
So I'm Chris Herring. I lived in Boston, Massachusetts, because I went to Boston University in my undergrad, and I grew up in upstate New York. I happen to be blessed to be the executive director of Global Chamber. You heard all about my mission. I'm so happy that you guys have joined this Global Tea Party. I'm going to ask that after we're done today, I want you to make sure that you come back to the next one and then invite some friends so we can support Lady Dana Austin. So that's me. And I prepared today by having my hat, having a snack, having my tea. And so this is different for me to do this, but I love it because I got a chance to meet 3 new people who are now my global friends.
All right.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to you.
Everybody is back, it looks like it. Awesome. You should be muted, so just unmute yourself if you would. How was that networking?
That was wonderful.
It was wonderful. It was very good.
It was nice.
You got to learn a lot about one another, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to have you take about 30 seconds and tell me what you learned about somebody in your room. So I see Janice smiling first, so you go first.
Oops, I changed. No. What I learned about Denise is that she is an insurance person, and that is her job. But what she's really passionate about is about helping people to reach their goal.
Yes.
And she is a coach. And so with a personality like that, and a person who wants to help you to achieve your goal, I think that's a wonderful thing.
Thank you, Janice.
You're
and
welcome.
so, Denise, what did you learn about Janice?
Janice, full-time employer.
You gotta speak a little louder, please.
Okay. Yes, Janice, her full-time profession was a nurse. She is a nurse. But she actually went into another profession. This is what she does for business. She helps people with Social Security, and actually those people who have become disabled or can't work and need help. But the main thing that she also shows them is how to increase their income that they get from Social Security by showing them how they can get family benefits also for their children.
Lovely.
And showing them how they can increase their bottom line.
Wow. Look at all this wealth of resources here, guys. I'm going to go with Todd. You're next. Tell us about someone in your room.
Yes. Well, my cousin Paula has she's a masseuse.
Did you meet Paula? Did you meet somebody else in the room you can introduce?
The other lady, we said Cheryl.
Cheryl.
I believe it's
Yes.
Cheryl.
Let's go with someone you didn't know.
Okay, Cheryl. She doesn't have a business, so she just told us about her
Tell you about her business, her personal business.
Yeah.
Yes, her personal business. She lives in a little town half a mile from Worcester, and she's in a wooded area. and it's nothing like whatever what you see in Massachusetts.
So you're in
And
Massachusetts.
yes, and it was just nice to know that even though we may not have a business contact, we still have business we can talk about.
Thank you, Todd. Cheryl, you like to talk about someone you met in your group?
Well, I can tell you about Todd, and he's a photographer, and although he does general photography like weddings and so forth, his specialty is nature because he likes to capture those moments and enjoy the beauty of the nature.
Wow, good.
And I can tell you, he's a phenomenal photographer. Phenomenal. And great. And he's in Atlanta. And so who else was in your room? Cindy? Cindy, who did you meet?
The person that I found interesting was Crystal. She's an artist. She's from Dallas. She's cooking and painting.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Awesome. And Crystal,
And
who
she
did you
has a
meet in your
company
group?
called,
I'm sorry.
CCXV.
Say that again.
Her company is called CCXV.
Okay, CCXV. I happen to know Crystal. She's my niece, and she's an incredible artist that
Really?
really started blooming this year with her talent as an artist because she was furloughed and she didn't sit down during that season. She decided to really pursue, and a lot of great things have happened this year. We've had a lot of other tragedies, but many people have pursued their passions. So Crystal, tell us a little bit about someone you met in your group, please, once you unmute, and where you located?
I met Cindy. She's from San Antonio. She doesn't necessarily have a business, but she enjoys painting. Her favorite tea was green tea, and she works for a Department of Defense.
Department of Defense? Awesome. And look how the two artists got together. Sometimes when you randomly assign, it really just works out. Paula, feel good, Paula. Who did you meet in your group?
Well, we briefly got to talk to Christopher because he was the last person, so he got like 50 seconds. But he sounds like a wonderful right hand for you and an advocate for what you're doing. And found out he was a member of fraternity. I want to say he said purple. That's not the iota. Is it that? No, that's not
That's the
iota.
color. That was his color. Color of his fraternity.
Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Omegas, yes.
He's gonna come to the phone on that one.
You dog, sorry. I went to HBCU too. Isn't that bad? I went to HBCU. But so we briefly got to meet Christopher, and he seems like a very charming person to know, and so glad to meet everyone in my group. So
awesome. Thank you, Paula. Christopher?
Thank you.
Well, I had the great pleasure of being able to meet Cheryl, Paula, and Todd. So, and you heard them all introduce each other, but you know, it was great meeting them, and I look forward to my next round. So you could go back and pick somebody else.
Awesome. Okay, Toyette, you're highlighting, so I'm going to pick you. Tell us somebody you met in your group. And guys, go ahead and eat your food. You can. This is a time when you can. This is our party. Drink your tea. Toyette?
Okay, I don't remember anybody's name. I'm sorry, but it was a lady and a man in our group, and Stephanie. I know Stephanie, and I don't remember the lady's name at all.
But I know what you're going to remember about her.
Ruth Ann and Rod.
Ruth Ann. Okay, yes, I remember that.
And
Ruth
Rod.
Ann, she makes cakes. She has a baking business, and she also has she's a social worker, I think she said. No,
Correct.
yeah, I think she's social worker by day, and she also is a life coach, which I thought was very interesting.
Awesome. And she makes black cake and sorrel. And if you buy a black cake, you get a free thing of sorrel. I jumped in on that one. So I want them to put their information so that we can connect. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Gloria, did you go yet?
Not yet.
Okay, you're up next.
Okay, I was in with Carolyn, The one in the really cute little purple hat right there.
Yes.
See her? That is so adorable. I felt like I was talking to somebody in England as I talked to her. But Carolyn is a VIP, and
Yes.
she's a VIP because she's a caregiver.
Yes, she
And I
is.
say that because my mother with dementia is in a group home, and she's got the most amazing caregivers there. So I greatly appreciate all the hard work that the caregiver gives our family. So I'm really
Yes.
grateful for that. The other thing is she introduced me to, because I did not know you could get a teacup with a lid. I thought that was kind of cool. Now hold it up, Carolyn. The teacup with the lid. I've never seen that before. Isn't that cool?
It's
It stays hot.
Well, I happen to know that Carolyn is a VIP in many special ways to our family as well. And she leads a team of caregivers, and they're just phenomenal. I know they gave her a special award last week. Many people don't like to toot their own horn, so we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Toot, toot. And at the bottom of our screen, we have a reaction. If you want to clap a hand or give a heart, welcome to do that.
Thank you.
She's going to get me later, but that's okay.
Okay.
Carolyn, tell us a little bit about Gloria.
Such a sweet lady. I love her personality. She is originally from Chicago. She's a member of the Global Chamber, and she loves empowering and training people, especially women.
Absolutely.
Really good.
Absolutely. And I've met Gloria through the Global Chamber dinner parties, and each time it's just been extraordinary. I just love the connection and the international meals and discussions. I learn a lot. There's much more to the chamber. Okay, now let me see. Reb, I don't think I got you yet. I know you're waiting.
I have met a new cousin, Cynthia Allen.
Wow.
And Antonio.
We're making family connections.
Yeah, made some family connections. So she's not an entrepreneur, but she's in the silver. I know she works for the government.
Awesome.
San Antonio, pleasant young lady. And of course, I met Crystal, the painter and the cook.
Yes.
Amen. I'd like to see some of her work one day.
Maybe we'll have her pull some of it up.
Yes.
I think she's got some in her background. She's looking at me like, I'm in the car, Auntie. you're on mute, but you knew this was coming. So listen, we have a new guest joining us. I see Amanda just chimed on. Hey, Amanda, take yourself off from mute. And then we're going to let Russell tell us who he met, and then we'll let you introduce yourself. Russell?
Oh, okay. I was in the room with Denise and with Janice. They've already explained their businesses. Denise is a.
Speak up just a little bit, please.
Okay, can you hear? Denise
It's
is
like
a,
you got your whispers voice on.
Okay, all right. Janice, of course, is a Social Security advocate, which he helps different people who have benefits or people who may have lost their benefits, how to get it back again. Denise is an insurance agent and also a coach. She specializes or prefers to specialize especially with women to help them to develop their self-confidence and their business opportunities.
Awesome. Wonderful. Now we've got Amanda's just joining us. Amanda, what we did, we just had a breakout session. And in the breakout session, we got to meet one another and share who we are, what our business is, and then one thing that you brought to the tea party.
Oh,
I know we're going to have at least one more breakout session, so I don't want you to really tell all your story yet, but she does have Tea Mistress down there, so that gives you a little indication of something of what she does. Hey, Wes, and Wes is joining us too. So where are you hailing from, Amanda?
I'm in the Houston, Texas area, and I do have a tea business. It's called the Tea Mistress LLC. I have a retail business, and I also do talks and classes about tea.
Absolutely. And so you guys were wondering what tea I was drinking today. I'm drinking one of Amanda's tea. I decided to feature it today. I feature a lot of her teas because I like her blends and I like the quality. And this one is a oolong. I think Gloria mentioned she was drinking a oolong. And so this is a oolong blend and it has rose petals. What's the name of this one? I left the bag behind me. I don't want to have to get up.
Do you have the rhubarb oolong?
The rhubarb oolong. You ever had a rhubarb pie, guy? Imagine that with the tea. A oolong tea is good if your stomach is upset. It's good for indigestion. It's just a great tea altogether, and it's from Taiwan. So we travel around the world. My motto for my tea business when I had it, I'm going to start doing loose teas next year, as I mentioned, but it's around the world in a cup. So cheers. And also we have connecting with us, who was on last night, is Wes Gary. Yeah, and look at him, got his pinky up and all. Wes, are you on mute? Because we're not hearing you.
I am not on mute. Can you hear me now?
Go ahead. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, Wes Guerrier. I am a brand marketing. I own a brand marketing company, Wes Guerrier Promotions. I am based in Port Charlotte, Florida. However, I'm zooming in from Orlando with, I've been spending time with family down here for the holidays.
Awesome. Glad to have you, Wes. If someone can take a screenshot of all of us on the thing, I'm not sure how to do that, but that would be lovely. So show your face if you want to, but this would be Rod and sister girl, Luann. Come on back. We want to see your face.
Dad, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. Go ahead. Take a picture, Christopher, or whoever can do it for us.
Nice.
Hey.
Awesome.
Say tea. Tea.
Let me get my teacup. Hold on. This teacup and saucer is from a coworker's grandmother, so it's a treasure. Tea.
Wow. All right, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Tea.
All right. Did anybody want to feature their table? Because we're eating. I'm sure you've already started. Anybody want us to take a look at your table setting?
Okay, I'll show mine before we all start eating. Here we go.
Okay, great. This is Amanda's.
Watching football.
Very nice.
Her husband's watching football. What do you have on your table, Amanda?
I've got 2 kinds of tea sandwiches, cucumber, and then I made salmon and avocado and tomato. And then I have a little plate of sweet treats. And then I have a chai. It's a black tea, Indian black tea with some spices in it and I'm using eggnog as my creamer because it's Christmas.
Eggnog as your creamer.
That sounds delicious.
Okay, we use the reaction when you're surprised or amazed. Go ahead, put something up. I'm saying eggnog as the creamer was like a what?
Woohoo!
Excellent. Anybody else want to share what you have on your table? We want to join you. Your meal sounds good. Cucumbers is a traditional part of a tea party, especially on the English setting side. It's not required, but if you do, you can do it variations. How do you have yours? Just cucumber and cream cheese?
I did butter and cucumber and salt and pepper.
Yes, that's one of the simple, easy, great ways. And then you can also take the cucumber, cut it in half, right? And then scoop out the top. You're gonna cut them in like maybe about 1.5 inches. Scoop out the middle and put like a filling inside and some dill, and that's another cucumber. I do that way too. That's the easy, simple way. Today that my cucumber is still in the fridge. Anybody else want to share what you're having?
Well, can I ask a question? How long have you been a tea mistress, Tea Mistress Amanda?
Oh, I started my business in 2013.
2013.
Nice.
2013. I think I started Tea with Strings 2011.
Wow.
And then haven't really followed that through. But next year, Amanda, I'm going to be offering some teas, and Doug's going to give us a connection in Asia. Okay. So that might be a connection for you as well.
Very cool.
She's got
Gloria, I saw you holding your cup up like you wanted to say something.
This is my teacup from my grandmother on my mother's side.
Wow.
And behind me, I have a teacup given to me from my grandmother from my dad's side. So it's kind of special. This one is a Christmas one, actually, and she personalized it with my name inside.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are special when they come from grandmothers that you no longer have with you anymore.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a treasure.
So that's how I enjoy my ancestry, is with their gifts of
over tea.
That's
wow,
beautiful.
see how it connects us even
That's
back to our
beautiful.
lineage.
Yeah.
Any guys have any mugs you want to share? There you
Yes.
go. Come on, there you go, Wes.
I would love, look, this happened literally 5 minutes before the actual event. I
Yeah.
was fixing tea when my brother-in-law popped in the kitchen. He says, "Oh, you're attending a tea conference?" I said, "Yeah." So I said, "That's why, I'm getting everything ready." He says, "Well, you know what? I have an actual china set." I said, "Tea set?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh my God. It would be an honor if I'd love to show it." So he said, "Wes, here you go, open it up." And there's actually some Chinese inscriptions on the bottom. So once I finish, I'll try to turn it over, so that maybe you can read that for me, Dana.
Oh, me. I don't read Chinese. Anybody? Oh,
This
you
is
know
an
what? Doug
authentic.
said he lived in China. Anybody else read Chinese? I know Todd's Korean. If it's Korean, he might get you on that one.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Look at the timing of it all. I see there's some chats. I hope I'm not missing anything. Any other guys want to share their tea mugs? And I say mugs because you all usually go with the mugs. Okay, and any other ladies? Stephanie, I know you have something. I already know.
Yes. So I have this beautiful tea set here, and I want to tell you the story behind it.
Hold it up so we can see it. There we go.
Okay. I couldn't see that. You couldn't see it. And so this was given to me by a young lady that I work with, and she has I guess a routine that she does when anyone comes to visit or spend a night with her. She gives them a gift bag to go.
Wow.
She drink tea at her house in a different teacup, and then she has tea sets that she gives away to everyone.
Wow.
And it's so beautiful.
That's amazing.
It's just so nice. And she said that's just something she want people to remember her by.
Wow.
And what I had to eat earlier, I only had very little of it, and so I was nibbling along the way. And it was crostini with cream cheese, smoked salmon, and dill on top. So I'm sorry, I didn't have that to share.
She's in Texas for you Texas folks.
Wow.
Crystal, you better stop by.
It was gone. I'd only had a little. That's why I didn't have any to share. So.
Oh my gosh. Anybody else want to share what they're drinking from or what they're having? Bite size. So traditionally, teas are not heavy meals, okay? They're usually bite-sized, finger-sized, 2 inches and so forth. So you don't do the heavy meals. But if you've been to tea parties before, and I know several of you have, and this may be some of your first ones, and I'll ask that in a minute, you really get satisfied at a tea party, don't you? Your appetite is satisfied because those small little servings add up. And then, of course, you're drinking several cups of tea and having conversation. We're going to do another breakout room soon, but I wanted to answer 1 or 2 questions. What was the question, Christopher? I forgot. I said I was going to answer a question.
Oh, I already asked my question about if you can, you smoke it or do something else different with the tea.
Oh,
So
you said smoke. I didn't hear the smoke part. Well, since you brought that up.
Hold on. Doug's $1,000 tea. I know y'all was thinking it because somebody had to be thinking it, not just me. But I mean, you just don't buy it. You just don't get tea for $1,000 and just drink it. I mean,
really?
That's crazy.
That never crossed.
It didn't cross my mind.
It never crossed my mind. However, so you guys who just joined on, the founder for Global Chamber, Doug Brokey, was just on a little while ago, and he said one of his friends in Asia. He used to live in Asia for a while, but he's in California and Arizona. He said the friend was sending him $1,000 tea. And so we share the experience with us. And so Christopher asked, who's head of the San Antonio Chamber that we're a part of, was what are ways you can have tea? And I said, well, you can cook with it. And I think he was wanting to know, could you smoke it? I was like, that's never come up. What do you think, Amanda?
And it's not in your book. So that's right. It's not in your book.
It's not in my book.
First when you said smoked tea, I was thinking about there are smoked teas where they're smoked like you would smoke a brisket or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like the lap song, right? The lap song.
Like the lap song.
There are some smoked teas.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yes. Bravo. Thank you, Tea Mistress.
See the things we learned, guys? Well, great. We're going to break out again into we have someone else joining us. Let's wait till our next guest join. So it looks like we have a few people coming in, a few people going out, which is nice. It makes for a blend when you get to meet new people too. So we'll allow him, and I'll share some tea trivia from the book. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. Whose first time is this attending a tea party? Can you raise your hand with the reactions at the bottom of your screen? Okay, Reverend Anthony, Janice, Gloria, Denise, Toya. Toya, you've been to my tea parties, haven't you? Todd?
I do want to make a comment though.
Russell.
Lady Dana.
Yes.
It was wonderful to see Gloria explain, her her teacup, and then even how it was customized just for her.
Yes.
And maybe in a future global tea party, we can talk about maybe the traditions of how I guess you call it teaware, how teaware may be passed along from generation to generation.
Absolutely.
And just saying, as an African American, that tradition maybe escaped me, maybe because I'm a male first, but secondly, I just don't know of the history. And if there is a history, I would love to hear about it. So
Sure.
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank you for acknowledging that, Gloria.
Lady Dana, I don't
Yes.
mean to interrupt though, but
No worries.
I have another tea this afternoon. It's with the Global Women's Peace Network.
Oh.
And I'm like the co-host.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I have to jump off because that one's very shortly and I got to get
Okay.
prepared. So it's a pleasure
Wow.
meeting everyone.
It
This
was
has
Thank
been really
you.
fun.
absolute
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Gloria.
much.
Thank you for
I'm sorry I
sharing.
have to leave,
We're,
but at least
we're
I got
glad you're on.
to share some
One,
of it.
one thing I want to say about Gloria is she's also owns a protocol business. You didn't mention that, so I'm just throwing that out there.
Thank
You'll
you.
have to come on for the next tea party to learn more. Tell your group about the book because this will be
Sure.
helpful for them. And we have first-time tea attendees. We're going to have a prize. We're going to draw a prize from those names. Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gloria.
Take care,
Okay,
Gloria.
Martin.
Thank
Oh
you.
yeah.
Martin, it looks like you are just joining us. We're glad to have you on. If you want to unmute your speaker, your mic, then you're able to tell us where you're hailing from and what tea you're drinking. You just have to unmute yourself, or Christopher may unmute you. Okay, there you go.
Took me all this time to figure out how to get on.
It's okay.
Where are you hailing from, Martin?
Marietta, Georgia.
Marietta, Georgia?
Yes,
You and I both.
that's right.
And what tea are you drinking?
I usually have a beer. Right now, I don't have anything.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love
I
that too.
appreciate his honesty.
I love it.
We have had people have tea with CBD and some with Jack Daniel, and you just brought up the rear. You brought the beer. We're from all over the states, and we're glad to be here and glad you could join us, Martin. I'm here in Atlanta too, Marietta. And so what we're going to do, we've done this once. We broke out into little groups, which kind of pushes you in a room with a few other people. You get to introduce yourself. If you have a business, you tell about your business and what you brought to the party today. Okay. I'm going to share a tea trivia before we break off, and this is in the book on page 77. Did you guys know that in World War II that they used tea to dye wigs and pantyhose? And if you're
Wow.
surprised by that, I should see it with the reaction at the bottom, like a what? I'm trying to get us to use these reactions. Yeah. One other tea trivia. I won't give it all away. Did you know that tea is a natural source of fluoride? Uh-huh.
That I didn't know.
You did know that?
I did not.
You did not know. It's a
Did
natural
not.
source of fluoride, black tea that is. And we're not talking the tea with the sugar and the cream and all of that, just pure tea. We're going to do our breakout rooms again, guys. I'm going to recreate them since we have different numbers. We're going to be in there for about 3 or 4 minutes. Share something unique about yourself that you haven't done before, if it's your first time, and then I'll pop in. Okay? Here we go. You just have to accept it. Open all rooms.
Hey.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, shoot, I'm better than most.
Okay, for a while I thought I was the only one.
No. So, Ms. Lake, where are you hailing from?
I am from California. I'm in Menifee.
Originally from California?
No, originally I'm from the Virgin Islands.
Oh, there you go. Which island on the Virgin Islands?
Of course, it has to be St. Croix.
All right, I know. I used to have a friend from St. Croix.
Oh, from St. Croix.
Yeah,
Okay.
she went to Boston University with me, and Yeah, so you have St. Croix, you have St. Thomas.
And St. John's.
St. John's, yes. So you were born and raised there?
Yes, actually, I was born in the island of Antigua, and then I migrated to the Virgin Islands, and that's where I stayed until I came here to California.
Ah, well, it seems like you've only lived in the most luxurious of places.
Yeah.
I
Try
mean,
my best.
wow.
Try my best. And what about you?
Well, I'm from upstate New York, in a city called Newburgh.
Okay.
And I spent 20 years in the U.S. Air Force, retired, and ended up in San Antonio, Texas. And
Retired?
yeah, I'm retired.
You don't look old enough to be retired.
Dude, you know God is good. Yes, yes. I just do this as my keep my mind busy, and I love connecting people. I see myself as like being the Magic Johnson or LeBron James ball distributor for people like you who may want to connect with other people.
And you know what? It's very interesting because I feel the same way too. You know, when I worked as a nurse, I was always connecting people to services. You know, so whatever the services are, if I didn't know where to hook them up to, I will find out. I will do the research, and then I will hook you up to the services that you need. And you know what? It's always a great thing helping people.
Yes.
Always a great thing doing for other people. Now, I will not get rich, but that's okay.
Where are you from? Now, what do you do now, Miss Lake?
Oh, what I do now is I represent people who apply for Social Security benefits.
Oh, very nice.
And that is my passion. I really enjoy, I've been doing this for over 30 years. It might not look like it, but
No,
yeah.
I was gonna say you up there telling fibs and stories and everything. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. And so I started early. You know, at first I wanted to, to have a shoe store, but I love shoes so much that I would be wearing all the shoes and I will not be selling any. So I knew it wouldn't work.
That's a good piece of trivia that maybe Christopher will share with the group shortly.
I'm
just jumping in. So Janice, you and I both are nurses, I think.
Yes. I worked in psych for many years, and then I gave that all up, and now I'm a disability advocate. I represent people who apply for benefits.
We
That's what I like doing.
We desperately need you. Thank you for what you do.
I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
The nursing is okay.
I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, the nursing is okay, but I just have a problem working for other people. I just have a problem.
look, you ain't gotta tell me that twice. Oh my Lord, yes, I do too. But you know, even with this platform here, you know, in all seriousness, I enjoy my work with Global Chamber because I work for and with a man who has integrity, and he doesn't see, and then some people say, you know, I don't see skin color. He doesn't. He's a guy who respects the diversity in it, and he tries to include, and he tries to push. So he doesn't come across as the type of guy who has even put any type of heaviness over on me. I mean, he just says, Chris, do what you do, and I can create. I can, like, you know, I didn't have to ask can I do a global tea party? No, I just did it. And so that's what I like about him. He allows his executive directors to make decisions and to be able to execute. And then likewise, I look at my membership, and I would love to have you as a member at some point, but I look at my membership, and they look to me to make things happen. So I was able to be blessed by working with Lady Dana Austin with her book. We got her book into the top 50 of the bestsellers list of Amazon this holiday season. And then her sister, Stephanie Austin, we got her book in the top 50 in 2 categories. And when I saw their books originally, their books were like 40,000 ranked, 30,000, 20,000,
Yeah.
nowhere near the top 50. So I
Wow.
worked with both books over a month, and working with Amazon and working with search engine optimization, and I got them to the top 50. So I'm proud of that accomplishment, because they're gonna be great as authors, and I'm proud of just being able to facilitate getting them some visibility, you know, and to what they do, because authors have, just like painters, that you can starve.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, I feel your pleasingness. I feel it, you know, and you know, I really like to surround myself with positive people
Yeah.
and with people who like to get things done, you know, because it lets me feel very positive, you know. And I am so grateful that Todd told me about this, because, you know, without Zoom, I'm pretty sure that all of this would not be happening so quickly.
Well, you know, I think people were uncomfortable with virtual technologies,
Yes.
and whether the church is closed or whether, yeah. And so now meetings like this is within our control, within our reach, and we feel comfortable using technologies like this, like the Jetsons that we saw on TV. I mean, geez, this is the Jetsons era, and I never thought I would live in the day and age where I didn't have to go to a physical building to meet someone, but been able just to do just what we're doing here today.
Yes, yes, it's very, very nice. And in the comfort of your home. You know, when I first started to represent folks, I traveled to their homes, which I find is so much more pleasing, because the people open up because they're in a comfortable place, you know? And so, and I represent people in all 50 states. So it's a good thing. And I do it now with Zoom.
Well, I want to say this. I thank you for your support with the Social Security. And I know firsthand, because I've had to use that in my life. So thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. It's my pleasure to serve.
All right. Well, we're going to go back to the main room. See ya.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That was bad.
Okay, everyone, unmute yourselves. This one was a quicker one because we're really at the end of our holiday tea time. And if you're